Hey everyone, this is Jackie from On a Water Break with a quick sip. Not a long water break, just a quick sip. And joining us today is Devon from Spin Strong Fitness for Color Guard. Hi, Devon.
Hi. I just
Hey, this isn't a full water break, it's just a quick sip. Let's go!
Hi, Devon.
sorry. I did want to preface. I lost
Hi,
my voice
Devon.
this weekend at the WGI Knoxville Regional because, of course, why not? So that's why I don't always sound like this, just so everyone knows.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am very excited to get to talk to you. Hopefully your voice will hold out for this. I know going to those regionals, you're talking a lot all day and you're giving instructions and you're telling people where to go and what to do and making sure things happen. So but like I said, this is just a quick sip. So hopefully you'll be able to handle it for that amount of time. So we're gonna start with a little tradition that we do on our podcast called the 32 count life story. So you're gonna tell us everything that you can from birth to now within 32 counts. Okay, there's gonna be a metronome and we're gonna go for it. Are you ready?
8 off the Met, and go.
All right. So I started color guard my sophomore year when I was at West Brevard High School. When I graduated, I did college marching band. Shout out FIU, go Panthers. When I was in college, I was marching Braddock Independent, and I did that for 5 seasons. But when I graduated college, I wanted to do one more, so I decided to move to Atlanta, where I marched Paramount World and had such a great time. I marched 4 more seasons of it, and I love this. I had loved it so much. I stayed and I did admin for Paramount for a few years. Now I teach the A Guard. I've also taught middle schools, DCI, DCA, college level schools. And now I'm at Walton, and I also teach for the Edwell Percussion Unit, and I'm also part of the WGIDEI committee.
Wow, a Braddock girl, an April
Mhm.
Gilligan girl.
Yep, April Gillian. She's been there. I've been taught by her. Yeah.
So that's amazing. Huge fan of Paramount, of course. Love Braddock also. That's an amazing sort of background to all of this. What made you go for your certified physical trainer? Like, where does all of that come in?
Well, I'm not naturally athletic, so I did struggle for a really long time, not just in high school, but even as an independent marcher, just being able to power through and be able to accomplish what was being asked of me. So I did learn that I needed to be doing things outside of rehearsal kind of later in my career. And of course, learning that there's where do you get that info online or through other resources. And there's just not a lot of good information out there. A lot of it's really catered towards like diet culture or the way that it looks, and not really the way that it's supposed to make your body do things. And of course, like none of that is even catered towards color guard performers. So, kind of in a good way, COVID happening got me to take a
Not at
step back
all.
and have some time to really find out what my priorities are. And I knew I still wanted to march again, but I knew that when that season would come, I'd be 28 years old, so a little older for some of our independent marchers. So I needed to make sure I did it right, and so I did a lot of research. I practiced a lot of, tried a lot of different fitness approaches, did a little different types of fitness and exercises, and really just kind of found what worked for me. And through that process, realizing like, why isn't this available for color guard? Like, why aren't there people who do color guard or know color guard making this for us? So once I was finally done marching, I was like, all right, time to know what my new priorities are. And I know I want to teach, and I teach a lot of places that I love teaching and being in front of kids, but I'm not doing them the service that I feel I should be if I'm not able to give them resources that can help them not just perform well and catch their equipment, but like feel good and like themselves even outside of color guard and like with their bodies.
Well, that's amazing, and I know that's something I've thought about. I'm a Zumba instructor, and so is Trish, actually. You have the 2 Zumba instructors on this call. So as far as, like, we understand, like, there needs to be this fitness component.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of success so far. Right now, we kind of just offer a little bit of some insight and some quick workout tips and things on our social media pages. We also have a couple YouTube series online, and we're currently in the middle of a strength training program that I call Guard Gains. So that's an 11-week program that's available from our Instagram. It's kind of in
Ooh.
a PDF form. Yeah, I really want to be able to offer more videos and kind of in-person type workouts that people can be doing at home. But with all the things so far, it takes a long time to produce a lot of that kind of content. But we're hoping that we can get a lot more done during this upcoming off season for us. So there's a lot to look forward to.
So what sort of motivated you, or what helped you come up with this idea to actually, like, start this whole program? Like, where I mean, I know you've got the color guard background, of course, and we talked about, like, how fitness wanted to be, but, like I said, we're Zumba instructors too, and we didn't come up with this idea of, like, let's put this out there to color guards. So what made you decide to go ahead and take that leap?
Well, I don't work on Spin Strong just by myself. I also work with my very good friends Blake Maxwell and Tori Farias. So, it was kind of an idea that I shared with them, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing!" Like that is something that, at first I was like, "Let me just like make a workout program," and it's like, "Do this before your season, and you'll be all set." But with them, we've been really working on trying to expand it into more than just like physical fitness for color guard. Like we also want to talk about mental wellness for color guard or just life wellness for color guard, even outside of color guard. Like how are you taking care of your body when you're not spinning your equipment? And so it's kind of started to bloom into this new idea of not just like we have to work out and do this and be really strict about it. And, there are parts of it that it's necessary for that. But we're really expanding it into just this overall healthy lifestyle learning resource for educators and for performers.
And so you said you've got a lot of content that you've put out there. So with the format of this content, is this something, like, if our followers are like, "Oh, that sounds like something I need," do they go and, like, purchase this from your website, or is this like free resources on your social media? How should they go about looking for this? Looking for this.
My main goal when it came to being able to offer this type of resource to people was that it was not going to cost any money ever. Like it's just that our activity is already
Ooh.
suffering so much with a lack of accessibility for everyone, and there's many other costs that go into your program. I didn't want someone to think like being physically ready for their color guard career was going to be another cost to them, and if they needed to balance out whether or not that was worth it, because overall it is worth it, it is necessary almost to be doing this type of workout or these types of exercises and training, and just something no matter what kind of exercise or training it is outside of rehearsal. You can't just be a weekend warrior and not take care of yourself during the week and then think like, oh, I'm going to catch all my equipment and I'll perform great and I'll feel great about it. It doesn't work like that, especially in life today. As much as we want it to, it needs a little bit more planning and a little bit more nuances to do that. So I didn't want cost to ever be a factor in that. So we've been able to offer everything we have so far is completely free. It's just online. We are hoping for a website to be able to come out soon where it'll be all in one place. It'll be a lot easier for people to find.
That's awesome. And, like, this is so helpful for people who are doing color guard, and even who are doing, drum corps or indoor or whatever, not necessarily just color guard, because how many people do you know who have sustained lifelong injuries because they did a season or two of color guard?
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot. And
Funny enough, that's been kind of the thing that's gotten the most traction on our website, or sorry, on our social media pages, is like they want more injury related content. Something like, how do I make sure that my knees don't hurt? How do I make sure that I don't feel sore after rehearsal? So we're finding that that is a really big want for our community, and we're happy to help.
For sure, for sure. That's and you think back to like when I was marching, you might see like a person who has a knee brace on the team back like, you know, 25 years ago, dating myself a little, but you might see somebody who has like a knee brace on the team. And now it's like you might see like half the team has something, and you kind of wonder about that, like, are we really sustaining more injuries, or are we trying to do preventative things? Like, what's going on here? And I think having this information out there is going to be really, really helpful for everybody. I love that you're making it free too.
Yeah, especially, I mean, we are asking kids to do a lot harder things than we did 25 years ago, so that kind of plays a part in it. So, I'm a little dated as well in color guard. I'm haven't marched in quite a few years, but there's tricks I see and things I see kids do. I'm like, and I'm really glad I aged out because that's not for me. But we want to make sure that what we're offering still keeps up with the times and can then even prolongate students in their marching career so that way an injury doesn't stop them in their tracks and stop them from doing what they love.
So you said you're planning on putting all this together on a website. What are the plans that you have for the future of the program? Because if you're going to be, putting all this content out there, that takes your time, that takes your value. So what's your plan for the future, basically?
So we definitely want to be able to offer a lot more live clinics or live consultation, like coming to schools, having a workout class, kind of talking to the kids about what it is to have that time commitment to train and exercise in a way that's not just spinning outside of rehearsals. So we definitely want to have more of kind of like an educational sit downs with students, and even be able to like make workout programs specifically for different ensembles. Because a lot of the things we put out on social media, we try to keep them very generic so that it doesn't uh, feel like it's only catered towards one group that's doing one thing. We want to make sure that like everybody can kind of feel like, oh, I don't go have a gym membership, I can't go run on a treadmill, but like, oh, this running interval, I can do that outside of my neighborhood or something, or like I don't have weights at home, but I can just do this body weight exercise. So we do try to cater to everyone and make them really general. But if your kids tend to need a little bit more attention in one area versus the other, we want to be able to offer that as well. Again, at no cost. But so we're getting in the midst of trying to organize that and make sure that all of our ducks are in a row for that. And of course, all the info will be available on our website and on our social media pages as well.
Well, is there anything else related to your business or related to marching arts or not that you would like to gush about while you're here on this water break?
Yeah, it's a little unrelated. I mean, I'm there with them all the time, but I'm going to gush about Paramount A because it's their first year out, and well, we haven't had an A guard in 10 years because, of course, the first A guard that came out for Paramount won and got promoted. So we have brought it back this year. It's been really fun getting to work and teach with my friends that I used to march with. Now all of us get to be on staff together. And we just had a really great weekend this past weekend in Knoxville. And it's just, the kids are great. They're fantastic, talented, wonderful. And I love being there. So I'm going to gush about Paramount A.
All right, where can we find all of this amazing Spin Strong content online? Go ahead and let our followers know. Unabashed, just let it flow.
So you can find us on Instagram and YouTube at spinstrong_official, where we can help you spin your strongest.
Excellent. Well, Devon, we are getting called out from the box and we got to get back on the floor. So thank you so much for joining our quick sip.
Thank you for having me.
The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Ream. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lyda. To learn more, visit lydamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.